Hey, Tao Piggy's Math Industry, and we're going to be taking a look at how many solutions with systems of equations. So in the past videos and recently, we have been working with two equations, and we have been trying to solve for x and y to make both equations true. But in this video, we're going to find out how many solutions this problem has to make it a true problem. There are three types of solutions that can answer a problem. There's a normal solution that makes only one answer solve the problem. No solution, no answers or numbers will solve the problem, and infinite number of solutions. Every number you insert in the problem will become an answer and it will make the equation true. So what we're going to try and do is find out how many solutions this problem has and see what type of answer it will bring us. Let's go and solve it. Do you notice that both problems have an x and y in them? That's because in order to solve what the solution is, we are going to try and put this formula into y equals mx plus b form. That y should be isolated. So right now, these equations are not in y equals mx plus b form. They're just a jumbled mess. So what we're going to try and do is isolate the y's on each equation. Let's start with the top one. For the top equation, we have 2x plus 4y equals negative 8. We're going to isolate that y because we want the equation in y equals mx plus b form. So in order to get y alone, we're going to have that negative 2x on that side and negative 2x on that side because we want the y isolated from each other. So we're going to get 4y equals negative 2x minus that by 8. That y does seem isolated, but not quite. In the first place, we wanted y to be isolated. So, we're going to have to divide everything by 4. So we can get y alone. So, y is going to equal negative 1 over 2x, negative 1 half x, minus that by negative 2. This is another way we can write it as this, but this equation right here, y equals negative a half x minus 2, is actually in y equals mx plus b form. Let's look at the next equation. The next one is 3x plus 5y equals 10. Then after we do that and turn that equation into y equals mx plus b form, we'll be able to find how many solutions they both have in common. So here's the equation. We're going to have that y isolated again, and we're going to also turn that into y equals mx plus b form. So, in order to do that, we minus this by 3x, and we also minus this by 3x as well. So we're going to get 5y equals negative 3x. 10 minus 3x we don't know, so we're just going to add that by 10. This equation is also not quite simplified to a y equals mx plus b equation, because that 5 of a coefficient is still there. So we're going to have to divide everything by 5. So, when we divide everything by 5, we're going to get an answer of y equals negative 3 over 5 x plus 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we have now this equation in y equals mx plus b form. And there we have it! But there's one more step to make these two equations to get an answer and find out what kind of answer it is. Type in the comments below if it's a normal solution, a no solution, or an infinite number of solutions. Let's find out. Our last and final step is identifying the two y equals mx plus b equations. Normally, what we're going to be seeing in this one is that there are two different slopes. When there are two different slopes, that can tell you that this answer has one solution. A one-solution problem is going to have slopes or equations that have totally different slopes. Here's why. So when we graph with the two y equals mx plus b forms, the red line is the 3/5, negative 3/5 x plus 2, and the blue line is negative 1/2 x minus 2. When we graph the two, we can understand that this is going to be a one solution because there's a point where the two lines intersect with each other, negative 22 and 40. So, the point that makes these two lines intersect with each other is going to be 40 as x. 40 as x and y as negative 22. So, there is going to be a one solution when there are different slopes. The slopes are going to be in the middle of the y equals mx plus b equations. There are going to have lines that intersect. Here's an example. That could be an example of two intersections with two Smash Bros. Characters. Thank you for watching Taoping Airlines Math Industry. Like and subscribe.